Yeah, you don't need to convert anymore to a PDF. It does it for you. Like, so I can just drag my Word documents over without having to do the conversion.
Yeah.
Or scanning or anything like that. It just, you just slide them over and it populates.
Okay, it's 7:01. Good evening, everybody. Call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are privileged to gather on the traditional territory of the Kwakwala speaking peoples. Please be aware if you're attending this meeting, our meetings are recorded for future viewing. Are there any additions or amendments to the agenda? And seeing none, can I have a motion to adopt the agenda, please, as presented?
So moved.
Seconded. Anna Marie Barron, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, item 4A, adoption of the minutes, May 11th, 2021, regular council meeting minutes.
I'll move that.
Seconder, Derek Cole.
I'll second. Thank you.
Any corrections? So seeing none, then all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, and minutes of the May 19th meeting, committee of the whole.
I'll move.
Moved. Seconder, Anne Marie. All those in favor? Opposed? Whoops, I was in favor. Opposed? Carried. Okay, table item 7A, fire department operation report for April.
Move receipt.
Move receipt. Okay, seconder, Councillor Barron. Any questions? I don't know if you're trying to find your mute button or if you're reading your agenda online. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay. Item 7B, Harbor and Information Center report for April 2021. We've got the Harbor staff report and the footage totals and the VC, visitor center stats. Any questions?
Move receipt.
Move receipt. Okay, seconder.
I'll second.
Okay. Any questions? Comments? Okay, seeing none then, all those in favor? Oops, opposed? Carried. Okay, item 7C, Public Works Operation Report, April 2021.
Moved by Barron. I'll second.
Okay, any questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 7D, Tourism Advisory Committee recommendations on the membership and advertising for new tourism committee members. We'll move for discussion. I'll move that.
I'll second.
Okay, and Councillor Downey, did you want to say anything about the report?
Yes, yes, I would. So we currently have 4 members who would like to have another term on the Tourism Advisory Committee. Those being Jonna Dixon, Lisa Fernie, Bill McQuarrie, and Bruce McMorrin. And so tonight I'm bringing you those 4 names for your approval to renew their terms for another 2-year term on this tourism committee. The term actually is up in June, so I'm bringing this to you just a little bit ahead, and then hopefully in the next month we'll have a few more names for you to consider as well.
I have a question for you, Councillor Downey. We had, was it last meeting or the meeting before, we're posting for applicants to the Tourism Advisory Committee? Is that
yeah,
advertising?
So what we used to do is in the past as a town is there was always was the town log, I think is where it used to be, was we would have a note all the time that said this is our committees, and if you're interested in joining, please talk to the town staff, get an application, put it in. I don't think that has been happening. And so I do have a request that we could revert back to that, have just a note somewhere within our website that just states which committees are active for the town, and a link as to how people can apply. And that way it would allow people to see opportunities that are available. They can put their names forward, and when opportunities come open, then decisions can be made. So
But currently, though, we are advertising, correct?
there was an ad in the June, or pardon me, the May town log.
Unlock. The only reason that I mentioned that is I'm just looking at Bruce McMorrin's name, and I'm wondering if from any of the advertisement that we had, if there would be any local people, community that either operate a tourism-based business here in Port McNeill, or have establishment that gives MRDT money into ours rather than the regional districts. So I would be in favor personally, and I'm only one of 5 for tonight. I would be in favor of Bill, Jonna, and Lisa, and tentatively Bruce McMorrin, pending to see what if any local people applied for the position.
I can speak to that. I was going to wait and bring this up after this
Mhm.
motion was dealt with, but one thing that is requested of the committee is to have another look at the terms of reference. Right now, I believe it's 9 members. Is that correct, Pete? I don't have the document in front of me, but 2 of those, one is a counselor and one is a staff employee, an employee of the town. So that leaves openings for 7. What the tourism committee would like to do is have the opportunity to bring in representation from a variety of sectors that operate within this region. So that would mean asking for people or seeking people to express interest in food and beverage services, in the hotel, in the tour packages, in Indigenous tours, and being strategic and marketing and hoping to bring that kind of representation into the board. So that will be a follow-up request after this motion is dealt with. But respectfully, Bruce McMorrin has added a lot to this committee thus far, and the group feels that he is an asset, and I would ask that these 4 names be approved this evening.
Any other comments? Councillor Cole?
I'd like to make the motion, we approve the 4 names as presented.
Councillor Barron? Oh, seconded. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Are you having technical difficulties this evening? Oh, okay. Sorry, Derek, you were going to say something?
No, I just wanted to make that motion. I don't have the names handy, but the 4 names as presented by the Tourism Advisory Committee.
Okay. All right. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed, carried. Okay.
Second,
And
if I
next,
may,
yeah, go ahead.
just to seek the will of the council that the Tourism Advisory Committee be allowed to explore the opportunity to expand and revise the terms of reference to meet tourism as it's unfolding today in Port McNeill. As you know, when this committee was started 2 years ago, it was the first of its kind. We've had 2 years under our belt to see strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities. And so just respectfully ask that we could take a look at the terms of reference and possibly bring some revisions back to council.
I'll second that for you.
Thank you.
And just make a comment. I think it's a good idea. I mean, it was a fledgling committee and now is evolving. So that certainly makes sense that the terms would evolve. Any comments, further comments on that? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much, Shelley.
Yep.
Item 7E, checklisting. Move receipt. Moved, seconder. Okay. Any discussion, questions? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of receipt? Opposed, carried. Okay, item 7F is there for information. As we know, there's been some changes to the climate action CARIP program, and it didn't amount to a lot of money for us, but it certainly was something that, as was with many communities in British Columbia, something probably some would not have paid attention to, at least not at the start. It's been quite a successful program, and people are monitoring their report. I will let you know that UBCM has continued to monitor this, and it was brought up at our UBCM advocacy days, speaking with the government on it. And at the regional district table, the regional district, and I just put it out for council if we would want to do this as well, is going to continue to do their reporting, well, at least keep track of the numbers. Because they feel that in the future for grant applications, it may be beneficial, and it's also something that we have a benchmark now, and it's just a continuation of letting residents know that we are trying to be more climate action friendly. I'm not sure from a staff perspective how complicated and difficult that reporting is, and if maybe there could be some way where we could monitor it without the complexity. But that's what the regional district is doing, and I'll just throw that out there. It's up to council if you want to continue to do that or not. Go ahead, Councillor Cole.
Thank you, Mayor Wickstrom. I'm glad you brought that up, because that was going to be my question. Are we going to continue to compile the data? And I'm very much in favor of that. Perhaps maybe a report, a little bit more of a report on how much time is involved before and after. Before we make that decision, but yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
Councillor Downey?
If Councillor Cole was making a motion there, I will second that. I see there is value in keeping those statistics, provided that it's not onerous for staff, but it has established a benchmark, and
Yeah.
I was just scared of crafting that motion.
So I can do it if you like. Do you want me to do
That'd be great.
So,
Thanks. Yeah.
We'll move that staff report back to the time commitment for continuing reporting of CARIP statistics, something like that.
Is it entirely tied to greenhouse gas emissions? The whole, I guess,
collection of data.
Yeah, just included in the report. I would hope just a little recap on what it was and what it could be moving forward.
Sure. Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, we can put it up there if you want to see it, but as long as you get the gist of it, we're just looking for staff to know what you're reporting on, how much time it takes, and yeah, just seeing if we could continue to recover that data.
What I have written is that staff report back on the time commitment on reporting on CARIP statistics.
Okay, so Anne-Marie suggested that staff report back on the collection of data for climate action benchmarks or whatever. I don't know, something like that, because it's actually not there. It's not CARIP because we're not involved in the program. The program is no more. So something to do with climate action and collection of data, and we'll be happy. Just so that you know, we're looking for staff to let us know if it's onerous or not, and if we can continue. All right, seeing no further discussion, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Moving on to item 10A, Mayor's report is in front of you. I was remiss last time, supposed to mention for the public that we now have a new website. It was launched. We had a soft launch working through some of the little hiccups and errors and that kind of thing. And so now we're looking for input from the public because it's a website for the public and they're the users, and we want to know what they think and give us their suggestions. So that's the only thing that I would add. I actually accidentally blabbed it at the regional district meeting first, so, but I haven't seen it in the paper yet. So there you go. Any other councillor reports? No. Okay. Great. Then on to item 11A. It's just items to be made public from our in-camera. The only thing that I would say is a correction, and that's my writing in there. Two councillors come up with, can we change that word to develop? Wasn't until after it was in the agenda, I thought, so. Move for receipt. Moved, seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, carried. Okay, we're not going in camera, so I'll ask if there are any questions first from the public. And any questions from the media? Nothing. Okay, great. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved, seconded.
Yeah, just a note, I don't seem to have an invite for in camera.
We don't have it. No, I said there is no in camera today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. That's
Okay,
why I don't have it. Thanks.
no problem. All right, all those in favor? Opposed, carried. Have a nice evening, everybody.
Night all.
Good night.
Looking forward to getting back together.